For the first part of the peer edit, we're going to take a look at paragraph 1 with your introduction and thesis and the topic sentences of the narrative essay. So with that, we're going to start off, and the first part you're going to look at is the hook or an interesting introduction. So that should be immediately the first thing that you see in the first paragraph, and it should be more than just a rhetorical question. So you're not repeating the prompt of who's at fault in the Cold War. Okay? It should be, again, more than just a restatement of the prompt. It should include probably things like dramatic events of the post-war period. Discuss perhaps the global impact of the Cold War, which you can also use as a conclusion, or the diametric, the distinct differences between communism and capitalism. It could also be one of the key events that may be of interest, that is dramatic, but something that is more interesting than just wondering, do you ever wonder how the Cold War began? So more than something like that. So go ahead and read that, and then go ahead and make your own rating based on what you believe the other author succeeded in doing, whether it's below standard, whether it meets the standard, or exceeds, and go ahead and mark and check the part that you would like in each one. The second part is the thesis statement, and the thesis statement should include an argument particularly of who is at fault in the deteriorating alliance between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. And in that thesis should include at least 3 topics of discussions based on time period. So usually the wartime alliance, and then maybe at least 2 or more other major time periods during the post-war period, or a discussion on how attitudes were rigid before the war. So let me provide some samples of what this might actually look like before you make your own rating based on your understanding of the content. So for example, a thesis statement may look something like this. Although the U.S. and USSR were allies during World War II, the Soviet distrust of America led to indirect influence, Soviet influence into Eastern Europe, and direct attacks on the sovereignty and self-determination of nations around the world. So that's one possibility that you could utilize. A second one, although the U.S. and the USSR fought against Nazi Germany in World War II, the American distrust of the Soviet Union led to direct financial intervention by the United States. So you can talk about things like the Marshall Plan and the Greek Civil War, and military and diplomatic actions that directly threatened the interest of the Soviet Union. That could be a third possible sample. Though allies in the Second World War, the Soviet Union promptly broke the alliance by rejecting the beneficial Marshall Plan, an aggressive blockade of Berlin, and creating a dangerous Warsaw Pact. So notice with this one will be the most similar to what you have in that this is one particular event, another event, and then a third item based on the document set that we have looked at. And then the last thing you want to do after you've done this is a good time in order to help to improve your writing by matching the various parts of your thesis statement to the topic sentence of each body paragraph. So you'll note that I have one of the samples that's laid out here from the previous slide here, and what you should go and check and probably grade at this point is to see if these points here matches each of the body paragraph, the topic sentences for each of the body paragraphs. So this first body paragraph topic sentence should be about when they were allies. This next one should be about the distrust that both of them held for one another. This third one is about Soviet influence into Eastern Europe, like the Czechoslovakian coup. And then lastly, you have attacks on sovereignty, like in terms of Korea. You can talk about Greece if you would like. But either way, make sure that each part of the thesis matches each topic sentence. And then from there, you can rate and judge whether or not they match up for each particular section, and then grade accordingly for each topic sentence. So again, you're going to do parts of the body paragraph here so that it matches up with the thesis statement. All right, that should be the thesis. Good luck.